Hello, hello, hello. Today, I kind of wanted to discuss the Calpheon ball, kind of just the state of everything, how I'm feeling, some topics and whatnot. This is not written up or anything, so bear with me here. It's just going to kind of be all over the place, just me going through the motions, talking and everything. I want to open up by saying that I appreciate everything for being flown out and all that stuff. Well, to be fair, I didn't get flown out because I was local, but that's besides the point. Regardless, I would have been flown out if I wasn't. The event was great and a great experience in terms of just, personally meeting everybody. I got to hang with Steve, talk with Choice a little bit, hang out with Guido, do a bunch of just goofy stuff with other partners and console players and PC players too, discussing shit with everybody. It was overall a really fun experience for what it was, but we do need to address the console problems. So I might get a little heated and kind of just go on tangents because there were so many moments of the ball where I was just absolutely like, dude, I stopped. Like there were points where I stopped. Like I didn't even care what was being said on stage. I didn't even listen. I was not even paying attention. Like I was on my phone texting other people and just like, you know that there's a problem when the event that we're supposed to be at, like having fun, paying attention to and be excited for, where just half the room just went completely dead silent and was completely uninterested in what was being said on stage. So I don't really want to talk too much about PC and all that stuff, but yeah, Wusa got announced, blah, 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 blah. Our fucking update has already been delayed to like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. So that was interesting. At least it's coming out the same day, but it got delayed for whatever reason. Honestly, I'm not even sure what's going on or whatever, but at least it wasn't delayed till like next week. Knock on wood, famous last words. Hopefully that's not the case. But Wusa did get announced and she looks absolutely ridiculous. She looks insanely broken. And I'm just going to say, like I always do, it's a cash grab. It's a 100% cash grab. Stop re-rolling the characters that are so broken, and then you already know it's going to be dead in a month, just like every single release where that happens. Sage, super broken, one of the most broken releases of a character, and then immediately afterwards he just fell off and died, and you just didn't see him anywhere. Nobody cared. At least on console. Same thing with Hash. He was super crazy. Think about it. Hash wasn't that bad of a release. He still was kind of nutty and had his issues, but he was not as bad as like Sage and Drac. But Drac's another one as well where, insane release, stupid broken, had so much ridiculous potential, so many feeds, so many insane moments of the characters that are just so broken. And they nerfed it again, and just now nobody plays it. So I'm just gonna try and drive the point home. It's a cash grab. It always will be. They release it so that way it's broken. Everybody rolls to it for a good while, and then they burn it to the ground, and then they sell you re-roll coupons so you can go ahead and purchase them. And then it is a cash grab. It is literally as blatant out there in the street as it can be. I cannot stress enough how obvious it is that it is a straight up cash grab. Selling you costumes, they're selling you reroll coupons, and then they're expecting you to just buy those up and just fall for it every time. All right, when you wisen up to that, they will stop releasing characters in the most retarded states. But until you all stop re-rolling to dumb classes, they're going to continue to do it, and the game's going to be very unfun for 2 months because that's about their like money scheme. Pretty much, they release a character that's broken, they leave it broken for 2 months, and then they burn it to the ground, and then you guys blow all your money on the re-roll coupons and whatever, and just kind of roll to another class that you've been thinking about messing around with. Class is going to be busted as fuck. It is what it is. Aside from that, we also got a little tease of like the new area, things like that. Cool. Nothing related to console. We still don't even have the damn winter region yet, so who cares? It's just nothing for us in that regard. The thing that frustrated me the most about that is they talked about NPCs for like an hour. What the fuck? Like, I don't want to be overly disrespectful, but like, holy fuck, you guys disrespected the shit out of console. You guys talked about NPCs for an hour, and you talked about console for literally 10 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you for real? Are you serious? I get it. You guys are probably just trying to kill time, and you're like, well, we got to fill the time clock so that way we can go all the way to 6:30, whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, there's no shot that you guys thought that this was going to be a good idea. Like, seriously, not a single CM stood up and was like, hey guys, your console's gonna feel pretty bad that we're about to have a long discussion for an hour about NPCs, and we're only gonna talk about console for 10 minutes. And mind you, not a single buddy, like, I probably don't want to say that, but I at least want to believe that there's not a single fucking person in that whole room out of like 250 plus people. There's not a single person in there that is going to be like, oh yeah, NPC lore. Yeah, I'm here for that. No. Sit the fuck down. Stop. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's fucking doing that. Nobody's excited for console like fucking NPC lore that we're not gonna get. Nobody's excited for PC NPC lore. Nobody cares. Like, I'm sorry, just nobody is going to, like, it was presented in the most boring way possible where you guys just talked and point. And it's like, dude, this is the same way that you present questing in BDO and why nobody cares about it and why we all spam the A button, because it is boring presentation. You didn't spice it up. You didn't make it interesting. That was horrible. But the worst of all is that you talked about it for an hour proudly. You talked about that for an hour. NPCs, and you just bowed your head at console and gave us garbage. Literally. Like, that's what bothers me the most, is that you held your head up on that stage proud as fuck, reading that shit to us as if like that was going to be hype for some reason, and then you give console 10 minutes of nothing. And I'm seriously trying not to be angry, but like, dude, it got so worse for me when I got home, because I was like, yo, I just got back from the ball, ready to get back on the game and just kind of try and be optimistic. I load up the fucking game. Guess what it does? It crashes. The moment I walk into Heidel, it crashed. Literally the moment I got onto the game. I just had put my bag down on my fucking bed and I loaded up the game, ready to go with optimism, and it crashed on me. I loaded back in, and the first thing I see is a freeze frame, and then there's like a couple people in front of me, and my game crashed. Then I went to Node War, and it was a good Node War. It was fun. Crashed. Along with 3 other people. I literally am losing my mind on this game. I can't help it. And like, I can't even get into DMs, but I saw fucking DM. Like, I don't want to say by who or whatever or from who, but dude, I saw that DM. It was from a community manager. A community manager said some shit that absolutely fucking upset me, and I can't even show it because I don't know if it'll get me in trouble or not. I really don't, but just know I fucking saw that DM, and whenever and if I can ever release it at some point, I fucking will, because that person actually is the worst shit I've ever seen. Like, I cannot believe I read that, and that just sealed the deal for me. I will tell you right now, if you are thinking about staying on console and you want to progress forward and do this, no, quit now. Fucking walk away. Walk the fuck away. Get off this fucking game. Get out now. It is over. This is nothing. There is nothing for you. There is nothing. I cannot convince you or tell you otherwise. I was there in person. The things I saw, the things I read, I am telling you now, it is over. It is done. This next year is over. Armored Core, Remnant 2, all these other games, Blue Protocol, it's done. Literally walk the fuck away. You have every avenue to get off this game in 2023. I suggest you do it, because if you stay here any longer, you are wasting your time on console. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. That statement from that specific CM genuinely upset me so much, to the point where I just have no faith in them whatsoever. I have none. Zero. Absolutely no faith. It is unacceptable. That response was absolutely unacceptable, and if it was meant to be funny, it fucking wasn't. It was not funny. And like, I think just to add insult to injury, just the player base just gets smaller and smaller. Here's some screenshots of people that just had to pack it in, bro. Like, they literally had to pack it in. They're just like, I can't do it anymore. Tactic GM quit. Everybody wants to just go sit on castle and pretend to siege and just, you know, collect 2 bill and do nothing on the game all fucking day. No node wars are happening because all the node war guilds are dead, because they're just retarded siege guilds that sit on castle and just pretend like they're, oh yeah, you know, we hold castle, we're good. Where in reality, they lose all the fucking time. Every single siege guild sucks ass. Every single siege guild is ass. I'm sorry, I'm telling you this right now. There are 2 guilds that are very good. Every other siege guild, dog shit. They are terrible. They are ass. They don't know how to node war anymore. They are shells of their former selves, and they have nothing going for them anymore. And they have completely checked out, and they have every right to. I'm not trying to insult these siege guilds, by the way. They're just working with what they have left. It's not their fault that they are the way they are. There is nothing to build. There is nothing to go off of. But every single siege guild is a complete shell of its former selves, and they are dog shit now. They are terrible, and that is because of the environment that they are stuck in. And because of that, nobody wants to do node wars. Nobody wants to do anything. There's open world's dead. Open world, nobody fights open world anymore. It's nothing. There's no just decent fights anymore. Node wars, like that's a specific thing. Is node wars is supposed to be the fun thing, right? Like that's supposed to be like the thing everybody looks forward to. And no, I can't even present that to my guild anymore. Me and Guido, we try and set up node wars, and there's no guilds. No guild wants to 1v1. No guild wants to set anything up. Some guilds were like, yeah, we'd be down to 1v1, but we don't have signups for the week or whatever. And it's just like, dude, what is this game? And every time I see a GM quit or a guild die and explode, I'm just sitting here like, that's another person I don't get to actually fight anymore. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that in the sense of like, that's less competition. That's less competitive play. And that sucks. That sucks that literally guilds are dying. And mind you, this person right here, this was the Menace GM. Say what you will about this guild, but they had a lot of members and some decent players in there. And it's gone. Just members scattered to the wind now, just going to whatever siege guild to go collect payouts. What am I to do? What else do I have left to do? You know, me and Guido often talked about just trying to fix the game as much as possible. We often talked about Arsha League, and where we're like, hey, let's do tournaments. You know, let's do a lot of community events and see if we can get, you know, some good PR for the game, and just, you know, get involved with more of the community and try and build up something that we could, you know, profit off of, as well as bring more to the game, so that way we could function more or less. And here we are, no community to function with. We can't even run tournaments because who's gonna sign up? It's nobody left. It's literally nobody left. We're gonna have like a 5-man tournament. Should be over in an hour. And I just feel like the Western office is completely bogged down. I don't really want to blame anybody because I don't know who to blame. I really don't. It's hard for me to tell who's the person to point the finger at. But what I can say is that there are some CMs that are actually busting their ass, and then there are the ones that are just living, and they have no passion, no motivation for the game, and they are just there to be there. It's incredibly frustrating to know that there are some of the guys that are there, and some of the women that are there too, that just they're just functioning like they're just working a 9-to-5 job and have absolutely no love for the game, no care for the game, and they're just going through the motions. And that's fine. I guess you don't have to. It's just, you're just working a job. I get it. But man, that is frustrating from an outsider looking in. And honestly, what's wrong with the game is such a, I don't want to say it's an easy fix, but like there are steps that they could take to make this much more manageable, where it doesn't have to be a complete fuckfest. Like, first of all, C15, okay, let's talk about that. All right, C15 is good on paper. You're like, whoa, it's content, it's something to work forward to, except for the fact that you don't even need C15 to gain much off of it. Literally, you stop at C13. It's 6 DP in total, because if you have Fallen God, obviously you don't need C15, but you know, for everything else, it's gloves, 2 DP, boots, 2 DP, and then helmet, 2 DP. And you don't really need to go above for the helmet because Labresca will come out eventually, so there's no need for that. So realistically, you gave us 4 DP that we have to grind for. And mind you, actually, before I even get into that real quick, let me figure out the numbers on exactly what the Caphras are. So from C9, right? Let's start with armor first. So boss armor, let's say Uragons or whatever. From C9 to C13, that's 15 billion silver, okay? Guess what? I'm going to be C13 in 5 seconds. And then for those of you that are grinding or need to grind it up, you can have this in roughly around a week. You can make 15 bill in a week very easily. 4+ hours a day, and at 500 mil an hour, you can have this in less than a week. And then if you wanted to go all the way to C15 just to say that you can, it's literally from C9 to C15 is 24 bill per armor piece. So boots, helmet, gloves, etc. So that's literally I'm sure that's a fun thought, 24 bill times 3. Yeah, I bet you guys are so fucking excited. That's 72 billion silver. You have to grind 72 billion silver for C15 for your 3 armor pieces. If you want to axe the helmet or whatever, it doesn't have to be that. But the fact of the matter is, if you are going to be one of those guys that are going to go for C15 helmet, I mean, still, for just 48 billion. That's a pen accessory right there. You have to grind a pen accessory's worth of literally, Caphras. Why? That's not exciting. That's not fun. That's not a good thing. like that's such a, I don't know how to explain it, but like for some people I'm sure it's motivating, but for me, every time I look at that, I'm just sitting here like, dude, there's no shot that you gave me C15 thinking I'm gonna be excited about that. I'm not excited to have to run more circles. That's literally the problem, is I'm not excited to run circles. Like at the highest spot for console right now, to put things in perspective, let's just say Turos, right, or fucking Thornwood. Okay, those spots generally do pretty well with Caphras, more or less. So like for example, what do you call it, what's the word here, Thornwood is supposed to be a Caphra spot now, right? So I'm looking on PC right here, okay, on a yellow loot scroll, and let's just pop on 20% tent buff. Okay, so yellow loot scroll, 20% tent buff. We're looking at 39 Caphras an hour. 39 at Thornwood, which is supposed to be a Caphra spot. Not to mention only 41 fucking ancient dust with a yellow loot scroll and a 20 mil tent buff. You expect me to get C15 at a Caphra spot of 39? How are you supposed to motivate me to do that? How are you supposed to expect me to be like, to look at that and be like, oh dude, that's gonna be an easy, quick grind. It's gonna be fun. It shouldn't be too bad. Get some PvP in. Like, do you guys, that C9 to C15, 8,000 Caphras, dude, 8,034, and you're making 39 an hour. What the fuck? To put things into perspective, 100 hours nets you 3,900 Caphras. Like, just a little over halfway at 100 hours, bro. 100 hours, and you're barely halfway, just about. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? You're insane. You're out of your fucking mind. I'm gonna go over here real quick and just look at let's say Mansions. I think Mansions is the other grind spot that's supposed to be a Caphra grind here. So let's see. So once again, 38 Caphras. 38 Caphras at Mansions. Another Caphra spot would be like what? Maybe like Turos, 36. Okay, cool. We don't even have Venomous Night Fangs, by the way. We still don't have those, so that's cool. Let's see here. What's another Caphra spot? It says, oh, not Caphra, but just place that drops Caphra. Trees, 22. Okay, cool. Pog. Centaurs, 23. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Histria, what do we got here? 29. Cool. What else we got? Let's see here. Polly's Forest. Let's try this one. What do we got? 15. All right, nice. And then we have Olin's, 59 at Olin's. 59. I should probably put on like this here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, even with the camo buff, it's still not like 64. Big deal. Big deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't really have like it's a bit ridiculous. It's a bit ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, even at Olin's, like, unless you're turbo geared and you're running with a cracked group, and even then most players are not going to be even able to run Olin's very effectively, because not all classes are good at fucking Olin's. So not only does this spot alienate most of the classes in the game, because everybody wants a shy or whatever class that's really dumb broken at Olin's, but like for the most part, most people are not going to have the one gear to grind Olin's, and two, they're not going to have the proper class that people are going to want. So this is already like not even really an option for most people. So yeah, like, you guys come out with C15 and just have console just completely in shambles over here, worrying about like, well, I'm gonna fall behind again. All these geared motherfuckers are gonna have a bunch of gear. Like, yeah, it's the way it is, it's the way it goes. You guys have to catch up, and we just get to, you know, get up there for free because we've had so much time just to keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And the worst part is they're gonna be C15 and they're still gonna have leftover Caphras to get to C20 when that releases inevitably. So yeah, C15, garbage. Thank you for that. The next thing I guess I should mention, solo Garmoth. That's fun, that's cool. I think that there's better ways that they could have gone about that. I won't shit on it too much because it is a solution, and it's not a bad one at that, but I do feel like they could have done better with this. Like, the issue with solo Garmoth is that one, PC can still do Garmoth 3 times a week, which is fucking bullshit, and we can now effectively do it twice. Woo. So is as much as I thank you for that, I still wish that you guys would just do away with the whole lore behind the Garmoth heart and just say, you know, it's a heart of the ancients or something, and then let every single world boss drop it. That idea is so much better. It's so much more convenient, so much better, and it also is quality of life for some of the lesser bosses like Off and Tet, Maraka. These bosses, nobody gives two fucks about. Nobody cares about these bosses whatsoever. So if you at least put a Garm drop at Maraka and a Garm drop at fucking Offen, guess what? These bosses come back into relevancy, and it's not just useless content taking up my frame rate. So, you know, that's cool. That's what I'm saying. I just, you know, as cool as solo Garmoth is, it's a solution to a problem that we've had for a long time, but it's not the right solution. It's a step in a direction, but it's not the correct step. And I'm not saying the drop rate has to be crazy. Just put the drop rate of whatever it is and just put it on all bosses, just so that way we can at least have, you know, Garmoths in rotation. That's the problem, is we have none in rotation. Nobody is taking out their Garmoth and selling it because they know how hard it is to get it. So at least if you guys will, for whatever reason, just put it in so that way there can be Garms in rotation. The drop rate doesn't have to be insane. It doesn't have to be insane, but there has to be some kind of way for us to get it more effectively. And this is barely going to put a dent in the percentage of drop rates, especially now with our declining player base. This almost solves nothing. This is just another chore for me to do solo wise and be frustrated with. So it is what it is. Next, Marjories Realm. Not much to say about this. This is pretty cool. This is fine. Marjories Realm's cool. Whatever, not what I'm looking for, but it's better than nothing. New fairy skill, garbage. Don't care about it unless you're an elixir rotation popper or a frenzy popper that just doesn't have hotbar space for whatever reason. I'm sure you'll like this, but I don't really care about a T5 fairy. It's not going to benefit me at all. And then loot scroll UI, which is going to be supposedly dedicated to console. We're going to have a completely dedicated UI, which is really cool. I appreciate that, but yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say I appreciate it. I don't want to shit on it. I've been asking for UI changes in pause loot scroll function for a while, so it's good. I don't want to shit on it too much. So thank you for the loot scroll UI. It's fine. So yeah, that covers like everything. I don't know. It's just super disappointing, and it's upsetting that you know, the things that I saw and the feedback that I got and the feedback that I was able to give, I just feel so unfucking heard, and I feel so disregarded and in some ways disrespected too, especially by certain CMs that just don't seem to give one fuck anymore. And I get it, we're annoying, like we're so annoying. Like I'm annoying in this video trying to just, you know, scream my head off and yell and whatever. I get it, I'm annoying, but like, dude, how would you feel, bro? Like you're a CM, dude. You're like what, 50k a year, 60k a year, you know, just managing a game that's sinking pretty much, and then I have to play it. This is the job. For me specifically, it's mad frustrating because it's a job. This is not a hobby. This is not some passion project where I'm like, you know, if I'm on YouTube, I want to do what I love, this, that, blah, 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 blah. It's a matter of literal fucking like income for me. If the game doesn't do well and my videos don't do well due to just nobody searching or having an influx of views, then, you know, it's gonna suck. I'm not gonna make any money. I'm doing the best that I can with console. Mind you, I don't want to say names also, but there are just PC players that are making literal money off this game and they don't play the game. They physically do not play the game, and they just make videos and content for the game, and they don't actually like play it at all. Like they just log on, make a video for the week, maybe a couple videos for the week, and then log off and never touch it. Again, I won't say names or anything, but like, yeah, the fact that I was told that is kind of ridiculous. Like that blows my mind that because they can make a video because they're on PC and whatever, they can physically make money off of whatever they're doing and just like play the game at the lowest level and make a decent income off it, versus me where, you know, I have to find content first of all. I'm literally like rinsing and repeating content. Let's revisit this spot. Let's go back here. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. It's just like, it's so fucking boring. It's so shit. And it's like, dude, I hate it. It's not creative. It's not something like, if you guys notice, I stopped doing montages. Have you noticed why? Because it makes no money. Nobody cares to watch PvP content. The lowest amount of views on BDO is PvP, and this is the PvP game, mind you. Like this is a meant to be PvP game with like PvE mechanics involved, and of course, but when this game released, it was advertised as PvP. They've obviously strayed away from that heavily, but that's what it is, and that's inevitably why I will have to quit at some point, because unless the game just pops off on console and views start fluxing in and whatever, I cannot physically sustain a lifestyle playing BDO. Genuinely, I can't. Like, I hopped on Elden Ring. Like, this is the night and day difference. Look at these views. This is like my most viewed BDO video. And look at my one video that I did on Elden Ring, and it's like, that was my exit ticket. I could have hopped on that Elden Ring train and made so much fucking money. And instead, what did I do? I stayed on BDO because I wanted to be loyal to this game. I wanted to literally fucking, you know, try and build something with Guido, with the Arsha League, and just, you know, try and build up a community to where we could turn it into something, to an esports league, whatever. And it's just not physically possible on console, not without any kind of, you know, financial backing and more staff to manage things and whatnot. It's just not physically possible. It's not a two-man job. And even though Guido founded it and I helped him with a lot of things, we still cannot manage it ourselves because it's just too time consuming. Financially, it would absolutely wreck us, and it would not be feasible. And it was a nice thought in theory, but it is physically impossible. And I guess to end off the note, some like little things that I heard here and there. Again, no names or anything like that, but when I talked with a couple of the CMs, the number one thing I kept hearing was memory. Memory is an issue, referring to the RAM of the consoles, of the current gen consoles, which is, you know, Series X, S, PlayStation 5. That kept coming up quite a bit, which I guess makes sense because that's why they came out with the memory optimization button, so that way, you know, it would fix some issues or reallocate memory, so that way it would, you know, free up space and everything, so that way there could be more, I don't know what the word would be here. Either which way, you get the point. Memory seems to be lacking in the Series X and PlayStation 5. And if you're running a Series S, it's even worse, which, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense on paper because I'm just sitting here like, so you're telling me, because I don't even know how to even tear this apart, because it just doesn't make sense. There's so many games that I would say are graphically more intense than BDO, and it, or at least, I don't know. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I'm not a developer. That's the issue. I'm not a fucking developer, so I just don't know. But another thing that I did hear that bothers the hell out of me is that certain like, what's the word? Like random shit that you would think have no massive significance has a massive significance. So like, I was told that the reason that the icon change happened that we got a little bit ago, it was for the release of WUSA. Apparently, if we did not get that icon change, we were not going to be able to play WUSA. That's what I was told. Not even trolling. And I don't know if you guys remember, but back when I came back from Boston, we did the podcast with Choice, and Choice had asked Jae Kim about the Zerker Cape and why on the for the capes for the Zerkers, why they're so small. And Jae Kim literally said that, well, it's small because if we lengthen it or whatever, it will mess with another part of the game that would be breaking or something. So I'm paraphrasing, it's not the exact wording, but essentially a Zerker's cape can fuck up another aspect of the game for some reason. So like that just blows my mind. So we have current gen is apparently not strong enough to run BDO, according to what I'm hearing, due to memory reasons, and I guess maybe other hardware significant reasons as well that I just don't know. But memory is the number one thing that I hear 24/7 is that the current gen console memory is terrible, and we're not going to be able to fix that unless memory can be upgraded via whatever kits they come out with, or a new console that has upgraded memory. I have no idea. But not only that, it's just certain codes with the game in terms of just like, you know, the cape's coded wrong, so this will break this. And it just, some of it is so outlandish that you can't even, like, you almost don't even want to believe that it works like that. So yeah, I mean, I just got to close the video off here because I could ramble on and on and on for like 3 hours straight, but my voice is already given. I'm gonna say this, all right? 2023, if BDO does not get their shit together, it's literally over. Remnant 2, Armored Core, Blue Protocol, Throne in Liberty. These games, like, I'm done. I'm done in 2023. Like, I will make whatever content I can to sustain my income for the next foreseeable future. And then after I hop on another game and start, you know, views kick in, I get in the algorithm and I start taking off, I'm done. I'm out. I'm moving on. There's nothing keeping me here anymore. I may revisit and still play the game regularly, but in terms of a content creator, I will be hanging up the fucking mantle for sure in past January. I don't know when, but whenever some games come out that I thoroughly enjoy and plan to make content for, I will be out of here. So just be prepared for that. because I don't think I could physically do another year of just absolutely average content. I just cannot. Like I'm running on fumes with BDO, and until the game gets better, I don't see myself revisiting. Regular content will resume hopefully soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.